So not to point fingers or anything, but if it were up to my wife, we'd still be using rotary dial phones.
Whoa.
Um, and and she whenever she gets a new phone, it's a long hate process. But I think what you're both describing is the process of almost building a digital culture. And from what you're saying, you're saying that is extremely significant that companies foster a digital culture within their organization. And that can be difficult. And perhaps we could spend a little bit of time there to talk about how we can promote innovation and collaboration and the willingness to change among employees, because
Yeah.
that is it is a big factor with a lot of companies, and it is a point of either success or failure of whether they're successful in building that culture.
Correct. Absolutely. No, that's something that needs to be part of the project. It cannot be ignored. The worst case scenario is to ignore it. That's oftentimes a cause for failure later in the project. But Alan, I want to take for a second just a step back with what I like to call the common denominator. Because when I said early on, digital transformation mean different things to different industry.
Right.
There is underneath a common denominator, because what digital transformation is sitting on is at the base is being able to put in place totally seamless, well integrated process across your organization. And the same comment about the data, to have data that is fully integrated in a seamless way along the way with your process. So whoever achieved the full integration, whatever, if you're an insurance business or manufacturing or utilities, the common denominator of I would say a successful usage of technology for digital transformation purposes lies on being having at the base as much as possible fully integrated process, seamless process, and data. So the most basic example we can give is for some client today, for all kinds of good reasons, you might still be running a part master file, which I sorry to go down to the nuts and bolts, and but the data you could have in your shop several, vision or parts files that are disjointed. So obviously, it's hard to integrate a seamless process if your company is dealing with this type of environment. And that to me is the same regardless if you're dealing with insurance, manufacturing, utilities. It boils down to the type of integration that you're able to put in place, because with better integration will come better data collection, better analytic, more efficiencies, and at any point in time, you could have better KPI. And at the end of the day, you manage what you measure. So if you're able to measure your process from A to Z and identify the weak points, it's a huge competitive advantage. And the way it's achieved, it's with integration for lots of corporation. And this is where there's still a lot to do today, as we all know, because technology has been implemented or put in place over 2 or 3 decades. So those corporations are today a lot of technology on board, but I would say a lot of disjointed technology.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. What joins them together is, as you mentioned, data, and leveraging data and data analytics to drive decision making in those processes seems to be a very important concept. But
correct.
there's a lot of digital technologies, and companies, I think, while most CIOs and IT directors understand the importance of moving in a more digital direction, I think it gets a little bit overwhelming. And there's a lot of digital technologies, whether it's the Internet of Things, smart machines, artificial intelligence, big data analytics, cloud computing. And as Raj was talking about machine learning and automating business processes, and even manufacturing processes, to the point that companies have never seen that level of automation before. But all of it is very data hungry, and all of it kind of revolves around data, so that you can make data driven decisions. So comment, I guess, on data, the importance of data, and maybe even on the problem with data that a lot of customers and a lot of companies have right now.
Yeah, I can say something about it. And you're right, the data becomes critical factor. So one thing which I've seen, any company that is going in for a digital transformation program, I've seen that everything revolves or centered around a robust AI powered cloud ERP system. And I'm going to say that with an in memory database. The reason being, again, coming back to the concept about speed, we were talking about artificial intelligence because any amount of data that you have, unless you have a very good algorithms for using AI or ML, you are not able to decipher that data in a meaningful way that makes a lot of sense from a business point of view, right?
Mm-hmm.
And also by having an in-memory database, it means you need to get that data so fast that you should be able to get that fast enough that you can make quick decision either for a good opportunity, or if some risks are coming or disruption, you need to have that quickly so that you are reacting in time, well in time.
Mm-hmm.
So having a very strong central ERP system with everything that I just talked about is one of the key factors. And then when you start adding all the other things like cloud computing, Internet of Things, robotics, RPA, all of these are going to be add-ons to it, which is going to make your digital transformation journey that much more powerful, and you are having a much better edge over your competition when you add all those things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even 10, 15 years ago, I remember one CIO complaining to me that he has all kinds of data, just no way to use it. And really, the technologies have improved the collection and aggregation and creation of data, but they're also very much improving the ability to be able to consume that data rapidly.
Yes, and that's where the advanced analytics is coming up, because more and more companies, as part of their digital transformation, they are focusing on analytics because they are able to collect all the data. But now, how do they use the data? And that's where the analytics comes into picture. And with strong artificial intelligence and ML machine learning algorithms, plus with an in-memory database, they are able to provide insights and even reports that are fast, critical to the business leaders so that they can take quick decisions. Mm-hmm. And also the insights are coming in such a way that they are able to comprehend and make faster decisions.